Testing, 1, 2, 3. Hello everyone, this is MF217, and joining me is...
Someone who keeps getting blown up by fucking nukes.
Fallout 4?
Fallout 4.
Mind I ask, what is using them against you,
Someone wielding a fat man.
So, are we talking like the actual legit Fat Man, or are we talking like Davy Crockett portable, like,
A handheld nuclear missile launcher.
So, Davy Crockett then. No, literally the Davy Crockett, like the handheld, the portable nuclear rifle or whatever, like... Have you not heard of that fucking behemoth, like...
Let's just call it a nuclear slingshot, because that's what happens with it.
Cause I'm just saying, I actually know about the fucking thingamajig that was the frickin' goddamn Davy Crockett and all that, and let's just say that thing is more nightmarish in hindsight, than it ever has any logical reason to be, to say the least.
You know, I have an instigating version of the fucking thing.
You know, the reason I'm doing this recording, is mostly as a bit of an eye-opener towards, some people who look at my fake Diary of an Analog, and wonder, what is the big deal about this Lady Sigma character, that this Alphamon is trying to be and all that. This entire Let's Play, so far, has been exactly the big deal behind who this character is and what she has done across the entirety of her massive lifespan. Like, I don't know if there's any other better way I can, like, sum it up, but, oh boy, So many possibilities of where to go at the moment, but, why not Machine Pit? Like, I do eventually plan on doing a long play of this entire game on very hard mode, mostly to showcase, just how exactly... what kind of absolute hellhole I had to go through on this file to get to where I am now.
So it's where it started versus where it's going thing.
Where it started from its bitter beginning to the bitter end, regarding very hard mode in one single sitting, all 4 areas being explored, and then having to deal with the gory aftermath of the final parts of the game and all, you know?
I know, it's just, can the guy with a fucking nuke launcher fucking stop?
Speaking of nuke launchers, why not say anything about Megadramon here for that matter, you know? Like these goddamned blasters that are in this area, and then probably the next one as well for that matter. Just get out of that menu, like. Yes, Mecha Rogue 3, I see you there, just... I'm more concerned about the Megadramon than you, because you're only a rookie grade, and meanwhile, Megadramon is flat out ultimate level, and actually more of a freaking threat than you'll ever be at this moment. Like, why don't you invite your bastard friends that are Mecha Rogue 4 or Mecha Rogue 5 into the mix at this point, you know? Like, why is it a lot of the games I play for Digimon, like, even in the final area, they kinda don't exactly throw mega levels at you like they typically probably should at that point? Because so far, I have yet to see a Digimon game which actually legit throws mega levels my way the entire time, when I'm in, like, the final most dungeon of the game. Like, cause, outside of a few mega levels that are... outside of Imperial Digimon Dragon Mode, at least, that's like the only mega level this game throws at you like a normal enemy.
So you're complaining that it's too easy to get through?
No, like, the final areas, for as heavily reinforced as they should be lore-wise, like, shouldn't there be more mega levels than what there are in reality? Like, don't you feel like, considering the player is probably mega level long before this point, that the final area is, like, grossly underpowered or whatever?
I mean, you say usually, but look at me as rookie level ass Femon.
That you still had trouble with because you had no form of self-cure move. You had no magic skill for curing yourself of poison, so you kind of fell a little bit flat because you couldn't cure yourself that way as opposed to relying on the item for it. Like, you got impressively a lot further than I ever would have had the patience for with that particular Digimon in the game, but... like, then again, I did unlock everyone, so that is something of note here. So that should kind of speak volumes as to how infuriating it was to deal with rookie-level Digimon for the earliest parts of the game and all that, you know? Especially considering I was dealing with equipment that was either not being dropped to the mod slot version I needed, or not dropping at all for Digimon that needed it the most.
So you were in item hell.
Basically, and the drops are skewed towards virtually all types of Digimon, but there's only like one Digimon in particular from the drops in Death Valley that would have had that Digimon in favor in that regard. And even then, I'm weirded out by the fact only the unlockable forms are ones that specialize in either Gun or Crush. Like, all the other forms in the game either specialize in any of the 4 basic skills of weapon types, and only unlockable mega level forms later in the game can specialize in Shot or Crush. Where'd these two? Here they are. And let me guess, the moment I get back up there, a bunch of Megadramon are gonna spawn exactly where those particular mons were? Huh? So wait, no Megadramon at all? Really? Huh.
You're gonna complain about not fighting anything.
Considering this is Lady fucking Sigma to you, yeah. Well, then again, the moment is going to be solved in just a moment anyway, so... We're heading to the core of the machine pit after all, so... And even then, it'll probably be wise for me to combat the Inframon that keeps spawning in the mechanical core section of the machine pit, so I don't have to constantly deal with being chased while I figure out the puzzle to it. Because if I am not mistaken, there is a very specific manner that you can solve this puzzle by, mostly involving turning X amount of switches on and X amount of switches off, but they have to be a particular color to do so. Get down here, will ya?
No, never.
You are not very good at the whole Paul St. Peter voice for this guy, so just stop.
I wasn't even trying.
Like, if anyone's gonna be voicing my otherwise silent boy that is Diablomon, I might as well have it be Paul St. Peter, you know? Like, you understand, hopefully, why I say that, considering he's the guy who voices them in the movie, right? Paul St. Peter, in the dub of the Our War Game movie, voiced Diablomon in its entirety in that, whereas previously he had no dialogue whatsoever.
Why didn't they keep him silent in the dub?
Probably because they ended up tying his origins into the origins of Lopmon from Hurricane Touchdown. They tied in Hurricane Touchdown to basically have plot connected to Our War Game, and even bits of the pilot OVA.
Was that supposed to be the case?
Not in the Japanese version, no.
So, two different countries have two different continuities.
Hold on, I'm trying to focus here. Like, Invermon's moveset in this particular part of the game, I'd literally just give the Diablomon if it were a regular enemy as opposed to a boss. Because honestly, it feels like I should be going up against Diablomon swarms as opposed to Invermon and all that, you know?
Oh, do we? Cool.
Sorry if you heard Dad there.
It's fine, it's fine, Right now I'm just trying to go on a slaying spree, because I don't think they're Dark Tower spawns in terms of how these guys work. But these guys overwhelm you so much, that they try not to give you any breathing room to consider the idea that these guys might not even respawn when you kill them, that is. I don't care what that thing might have had, I'm just gonna proceed onward. I think one of them must have fled towards them. I was gonna say, this doesn't look like it was an area I've been to before. Like, that bombed little trap there kind of implied that this was somewhere I haven't been to before already. Got a mystery item, apparently.
Mystery items aren't as rare as...
They're, for some reason, stupidly rare, even though there's literally an item appraisal guy and all that, so... And even then, some of the items I find with this tend not to be worth the price in order to investigate what they are, like if some items were only available that way, I can understand it, but...
Oh yeah, don't let anyone tell you that adhesive is the rarest thing you can find in Fallout 4.
Wait, what?
Adhesive isn't that rare. You know what is rare?
What?
Screws.
Pardon?
You need screws for a lot of the modifications to your guns. But for some damn reason, not a lot of things in this world contain screws, even though they logically should.
Metal Garurumon and War Greymon would be having PTSD flashbacks to this, wouldn't they? Like, you hopefully understand what I mean by that remark, right? Like, War Greymon and Metal Garurumon would be having nothing short of PTSD flashbacks to this guy, with how many of them I'm facing at once here, wouldn't they?
I mean, how many are you facing at once? Didn't they face
I
more?
lost track. They began to multiply just as they also spawned in brand new ones. Like, I'd say there were like 10 in this particular spot in terms of how much I ended up spawning and how much copied themselves. Finally! Oh, you gotta be freaking... Not open matters is the fact very hard mode compensates for the player's stats by basically making everything into a goddamn sponge. Like, you see me doing relatively decent numbers for what would be normal mode at the very least, but in very hard mode, they're never enough numbers. Like, bigger numbers always matter the most in very hard mode.
Bigger numbers matter, and
when an enemy is doing like 2k or more worth of damage to you in a single hit, that isn't even their strongest attack they have, that is your sign that you might want to get out of there. And I'm not referring to the percentage-based damage that are the turrets or anything, like an actual Digimon opponent or Mecha Rogue opponent who just does a good chunk of HP in a single hit, no matter what your stats are currently, and not even their strongest attack at that.
So it's a sign that you're not ready.
It might have been 2k Alpha I was saying, it might have been a greater number than that. I really... honestly, them doing more than 2k in a single hit of not even their strongest attack is basically a sign to get the frick out of there, basically.
Yeah, I would think that the universal sign of you're not ready is that you're taking more damage than you're dealing.
How long does this fucking place go on for? Like, I knew this room was kind of big, but... So it appears the ones that'll respawn next are on the upper floor. So I'm gonna do myself a favor and close that. Come over here. Over here. Get down here, you pricks!
Hey, this is the first time I ever got the small guns bobblehead. Permanently gains 25% critical damage with ballistic weaponry. Read guns.
Data. Mine.
Who stores a mini nuke in a fridge?
Do you not realize that little reference there of that, I'm assuming?
Spoil now, dude.
A nuke within a fridge. Doesn't that not sound familiar?
What Indiana Jones have died in that fridge?
More or less, yeah. I am beginning to lose my patience with these guys, so I'm just gonna continue forward.
How much damage are you doing?
They're constant dodging and nerfing my abilities and all that isn't really helping my favors and all that, so... And even then, I don't know if this is going to be enough to open the frickin' gate or not. Yeah, I need to do a bit more here if I'm going to unlock that door. I kinda wonder something, if anything. So is it another, like, red switch I need to hit? Maybe? I don't know.
That puzzle always confounds me.
I know, yeah, either like have an even number of one open or an even number of something. I can't remember exactly how it worked, but maybe you had to turn all the red ones off or just had one of them entirely off and the other entirely on. Meanwhile, if that is indeed the case, I gotta navigate my way around here and look for the red one to turn off that I had turned on previously. Power. Gates open.
Yay.
From a different angle, not this one apparently, but I'm at least at the top floor and the gate's open now, so. Core area. Now, this is where the aforementioned Imperial Dragon mode begins to spawn, that are where actual legit mega level enemies spawning in the field and all that. And now here, all I have to do is literally just kill and kill until I get to the final bit of this portion of the area. Like the enemies I kill will not respawn back unless, like, it's Intramon using its copy ability to make more of itself. inventory's full, I can't take any of that. Stay down, won't you?
Gotcha, bitch. I'm gonna be taking that Batman off of you so you can't use it ever again.
By the way, I could have sworn there is another reason I'm doing this video, because didn't I say, like, a very long time ago I would do a video in which I was facing the final boss on very hard mode as Alphamon is the strongest weapon it has? In other words, Baby Oryukin in that regard?
Your level isn't the highest.
It's high enough, if you ask me. Okay, something is... Oh, wait. There we go. Here we go, the dragons, the Digimon. These things do a crap load for what they're worth at this point in the game, but not sure why Positron Laser is Ice Breath is ice for them though. It's supposed to be a light move from what I've been told.
Well, light isn't an element in this game, so...
Yeah, only fire, thunder, ice, and dark are elements in this game for some reason. And obviously it's pretty self-explanatory that dark would basically serve as the end-all be-all for a majority of the level bosses and all that. Like, because all the level bosses, Mecha Rogue X included, are Apocalypmon, Malamyotismon, and Lucimon Shadow Lord mode. So, all of those three in particular would use Dark as their main element. Technically, Apocalypmon would be using every one of them at once, but that depends on how the whole gimmick of its shape-shifting abilities from the Dark Masses are involved in it, you know? Technically, Mallow could also technically wield the other two as well. Like, it's already fire at minimum by virtue of being a Myotismon Digimon and all that. So, because Myotismon is actually good at fire, less so dark. Like, Myotismon's, yeah, obviously its claim to fame is like fire, and then like, Lucimon Rookie is light, Lucimon Fall Down mode is null, or neutral in that case, and then Lucimon Shadow Lord mode is dark. Because keep in mind, the creation of Lucimon Shadow Lord mode was when its light self, its Fall Down mode, was purified into a known entity as the Digi-Egg sent back to the digital world. And its dark half, meanwhile, ended up becoming Shadow Lord mode. You know, I'd have an easier time with these guys in terms of enjoying the absolute beast of a behemoth with them, but, The problem is, I can only hit him while standing on this little platform in particular, and it's very tiny compared to how fast these guys are, you know?
Sorry, I got ambushed by junk bots. That's one of the things that one of the DLCs adds, is random encounters for that shit.
What do you mean?
The Automatron DLC adds random encounters for enemies like swarm bots, tank bots, and junk bots.
I'm assuming similar to what Skyrim already has? Because doesn't Skyrim sort of have a random encounter system? That is the case, right?
I don't think any of the DLCs add more of them, unless Dawnguard added some vampire shit.
Dawnguard would've... I know they did add wild werewolves, though, I know that. So far I haven't encountered any of them, but, then again, I'm assuming the reason they're not showing up is because I'm actually on the werewolf side and all that. And I'm assuming the werewolves would have shown up if you were like a vampire instead. But yeah, the positives far outweigh the cons when it comes to the werewolf form in Skyrim. Like, that's why until Dawnguard, little people actually took the vampire form all that seriously in comparison. Like, it's had its usage by those that were doing stealth, but until Dawnguard made it more practical, it was like kind of the lesser of the two in that regard.
Okay, I'm seeing your damage and...
Because I have a debuff going on, that's why. The Inframon can debuff my power and all that.
Well, that's some bullshit.
That's why I said it'd be more menacing if they're actually Diablomon instead of Inframon and all that. Because in terms of overall abilities, they otherwise behave exactly like Diablomon in that regard. Because I don't know if there's like an appearance that does do this, but I can't recall Inframon having the ability to make fakes of itself. Zone X. Hello, not Craniumon. How you doing? Yeah, can I just say how much of a Craniumon lookalike Mecha Rogue X just looks like for some reason? Yeah, for some reason, I don't really know if there is a reason or not, but Mecha Rogue X is a bit of a copycat of Craniumon in terms of appearance, and they made their debut around the exact same time as each other. Sort of, but close enough to where some sort of connection had to have existed at one point. Meanwhile, while he's off somewhere in the background while I'm just fighting his fakes here. Oh, he will come back to the field if you're fighting his fakes. I was wondering if he'd eventually just come back or have to defeat his fakes first, you know? I've singled out one of the copies of the Mecha Rogue 4, and so far it's kind of cornered here at the moment, but man, is it an HP sponge for what it is. Here's the real deal again. Better get the wailing on him. There he goes again. I see if I can possibly bait him back onto the field. He's only got so few HP left. What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? And yeah, I'm already more or less familiar with his multiple phases after this one, but he's already kind of got a lot of phases just within this one phase alone, you know? So far, phase 1 is down. He's making a bit of a retreat to a different area. Pursue him. Pursue him, Sigma. The X-Virus Propagator here. This one's a bit of a difficult one, I will admit, considering the massive BS he does in order to make himself avoid hit for the most part, so... Oh, and those things there as well, for that matter. If I get caught in any of those, I am a helpless little bitch, if anything. The X-Virus Propagator going down, now it's retreating to go into its strongest, most form. For Mecha Rogue X was never a Digimon, nor was it ever. And its true colors are going to be shown right before our very eyes. But yeah, it is very super clear when Mecha Rogue X Ultra just uses any of its elemental attacks or not, some Orbit's dark-based attacks or whatever, you know? Thunder is typically what this guy will use to striking his hands into the ground. That's fire, if I'm not mistaken there. I might just be looking in a little bit deep into that one.
That ball is definitely dark.
That energy sphere is definitely dark, yes. It can create like miniature voids for for it to basically, and it can turn into a spaceship to like shove you off the arena for it to relocate later on. I was gonna say, where is it? Because normally it doesn't stay gone for that long. 30% of its HP is dropped. HP down 60% and falling. He's getting more desperate now. Keep at it, Sigma. Less than 10% now. 5%. Zero! Plus, Mecha Rogue X was no more. The X virus purged of Lady Sigma's server of origin. Now, her server is at peace, but other servers remain that are being threatened by the X program still. And on a side note, none of those drops are worth it, so frick all, I'm just gonna leave them behind. With Mecha Rogue X having been slain, Lady Sigma reports to other servers that have been affected by the X program as well, in addition to having faced Mecha Rogue in some capacity or another. Lady Sigma endures many challenges and hardships for her journey from a mere rookie-level initial rookie recruit for the digital security guard as a Dorumon, went into Ultimate level as Where Garurumon X, and then went Mega level as Alphamon, and then Alphamon Oryuken. Her missing champion data, which she was prior to becoming a part of the digital security guard, Clockmon, was synthesized into her being as we knew it. She was reborn anew as Dorumon and worked her way back up to Mega level, which she was never able to achieve prior in her original life. As a newfound Mega level as Alphamon Oryuken, she could basically bring about the peace and salvation that the X virus needed to be stopped at all costs, with her newfound body being immune to the virus and being the perfect antibody for dealing with Mecha Rogue X and the X virus overall. She was one of a kind as the X Antibody Digimon among the Royal Knights who would bring salvation to the digital world as a whole, no matter how long it took her on the massive journey she would have to take further in the future. Her journey is yet to end, but the mission is far from over, and the program has been fighting back all the more. But Sigma does not stop to consider that this opposition will ever end, nor will she in turn give up the willpower in order to stop it all. She will continue her quest for the end of time, for X Antibody perpetually gives her the advantage to basically do the job until it is done, and it will never be done. But until that day, she will continue on forevermore as part of Digimon World 4. So, I kinda got a little too carried away with that, I admit. I kinda went absolute overboard with that entire improv speech, if anything, but, I'm hoping someone's gonna write down the entirety of what I said, just so I have notes for it for later, you know? Like, that was just an absolute beyond acid trip of a thing I just ranted on, just,
You went on a stream of consciousness.
I made the game out to be more grandiose than it actually should ever be, so... You gotta give me credit for that improv little thing I did there of that, you know?
I mean, the game is canon to your fic, so...
That's kind of why I gave it the grandiose treatment I did, as opposed to what everyone else would typically do in that regard overall. Okay, so we're dealing with wrapping up the progress on the... Okay, so obviously, you know that I already have very hard mode unlocked ever since a while ago. I got the weapon I'm using right now on hard mode. That's for doing it in a single sitting. And then I just did the final boss on very hard mode because, oh boy, if I ever do a long play on very hard mode, I'm going to need to prepare even more than I already am to be able to properly survive such a long play. I will do it eventually, but eventually can be a very long time, perhaps maybe never at all, but unfortunately that is the case of a lot of these things.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be one more thing you'll have left to get, though.
What? Oh, right, the Prince Mamemon card. Right. Still, so far, I have no idea how to frickin' obtain that thing at the moment.
It'll be the one thing that eludes you from true 100% completion.
Still, that thing is going to haunt me for quite some time, and depending on how it ultimately works, if that thing was significantly easier for us to obtain than we've ever given it credit for, then oh boy, have we been wasting our time with a lot of shenanigans on this and all, you know? Can I power up Sigma at all with any of the X data I recovered during that little excursion of the machine pits?
I just know you're gonna be garnering up a shitload of data for Susanamon.
I'm already in the process of that, but it's time for that for another day, I guess. I did get some booster packs while we were out there. Let's see if any of them happen to have the Prince Momon card while we're at it. Probably not, but worth a shot either way. It got 4 of them. There's one for Imperial Digimon, oddly enough. That's one of the ones we were fighting in the machine pit. And then there's Imperial Digimon Paladin mode, which, from what I understand, is the last of the Digivolutions to be unlocked. I have it, mind you, but that was, oddly enough, the last of the Digivolutions to be unlocked in this entire game. And I'm just going to show here what I mean by that. Imperial Digimon Fighter Paladin mode is here, among my various forms I have. Supposedly, according to this game, Susanamon is supposed to be the strongest of the unlocks. But currently, I just don't see it as such at the moment. Mainly because I maybe need to get a higher level more to really see what the big fuss is about, maybe? I don't know, but...
That and the fact that you're gonna power it all the way up to fucking hell with data.
Oh yeah, that too, that too.
Maybe its level up gains are the highest of all?
Maybe, I don't know, that might be the case. But yeah, that said, this has been Digimon World 4, and with that, this has been MF217 with...
Power play.
And thank you all so much in advance for watching, and we'll see you next time.